I'm the MVP, most ballinest player. Make my own rules. Call me the mayor. I'm right here with the mayor, Mike Lee. For those of you who don't know, now you know. I've actually been, dude, I really wanted to kick off the new year with you on the podcast. I wanted you to be the first episode, but dude, things got hectic last year, which is always a good thing for what we do, right? Yeah. Entrepreneurship. Yep. When things get hectic, it's a sign that you're making moves, right?
It's what it's all about. Hectic is okay. Well, it's like controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. Yeah, actually, that's like really what it is, right? Like as entrepreneurs, we're trying to create this chaos and turn it into, systems and processes and organized chaos. What is organized chaos?
I mean, so think about it as when people do those big nuclear explosions, it's always in a controlled environment, right? It doesn't get out of hand, but shit goes in, fucking blows up, but it's contained, right? Yeah. You have it under control. Right. When it's just straight chaos, it's no one has any control over anything. It's in an environment where no one knows what the hell is going on, how they're going to fix blah, blah, blah. But when it's in a controlled environment or you have control over it, it's okay. It's a weapon.
And it's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
Whew. That's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, we gotta bomb Russia, right?
Gotta bomb Russia.
No, I have no idea what's going on over there, honestly. But yeah, man, so I wanted to hop into a few topics with you guys. So real quick, for those of you who don't know, Mike Lee and I have both been on the grind for years. I feel like we were both kind of coming up around the same time. So Mike has a lot of different ventures. What I know him for mainly is for his sign business, which actually doesn't get a lot of play on your social, which to me is kind of sad because of all the stuff that you do, it's my favorite personally, because I feel like I like practical businesses. Hey, we make signs for businesses. That's a great practical business, but why don't you fill everybody else in on what else you got going on? Okay, well, so I do a lot of different things. I'm one of those entrepreneurs that when I get bored, I start a new business. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. But I'm also a builder. I'm not really a maintainer. So I start a business, I build it to a certain level, and then have it run on its own, and then just hop on to the next thing. Yeah. I get anxious when I get bored, right? So I always have to keep myself moving. So my main business, I own a signage company, building signs. You go into any room, you see exit route, to exit, ADA, warning, accessibility signs. That's what we do. Yeah. So, and we also do big building signs that you see outside, they're called facade signs or channel letters. There's a whole bunch of terminology for it. We do that. I've been doing that since probably the past 3 years. Yeah. Before that, I did marketing. It's actually funny how me and Anthony met. Mm-hmm. So Cold Brew Creative. Funniest thing ever. Yeah. So I'm in Crema. Was it Crema? Yeah. And Anthony had a business card over there. And dude, I'm a hustler. I go there, I say, I'm gonna call this guy. Hey, what's up, man? We should partner on some shit. And then me and Anthony sat down. Anthony's all right, cool, bro, I'll sit down with you. We sat down, we talked for a little bit, and we, we just kind of chatted. We talked about, stuff we're working on, ththings like that, but we never got to really work together. Yeah. Right. And I saw him at the Capitol Club. I'm like, dog, you're everywhere. You saw the Capitol Club, bro. And then after that, I wasn't just some random dude that was out, right? I mean, at the time I was, but then we kind of started to figure out that we were not. It was kind of meant for us to get together and meet. And then you stopped doing that and started doing Outsource Plug. Yep. And then, Anthony and I always talk about scaling business and how to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. And so when the opportunity came up, I would call him and ask him for advice. Hey bro, I'm really trying to, I have a surplus of cash. I want to invest into something that's going to help grow my business. We sit down on the phone. We talk for an hour and a half, and just go over stuff. He'd throw some crazy ass points at me. I was like, fuck, this guy's a genius. And then, not a genius. And then he's a genius. Don't let him stop. And then he actually sent me his strategy for his business, and I use that. He said, don't share this with anyone, but take a look at it, let me know what you think. And so, actually, let's talk a little bit about that, right? Because it's just the strategy is really simple, guys. And it's kind of all right. So we're gonna segue into something real quick. But real quick, is there anything else you want to say about yourself for everybody to know? Oh yeah, my name is Mike Lee. It's my real name. I'm black. I'm not Asian. So I get that a lot. That's right. Get that right. I have to get that a lot. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've done some stuff that is crazy. I've been in the coffee industry. I've done wholesale distribution. I've done PPE sales. I almost bought a manufacturing company. I've done a whole rack of stuff. I've been involved in a lot of things. I've fucked up a lot. I can swear, right? Yeah, I'll fuck yeah. Always at that. Fuck yeah. I've fucked up a lot, but I've learned from mistakes to kind of make myself a better entrepreneur.
And I like to say I'm a professional networker as well.
Oh, he 100% is, and we're gonna touch on that, man. And you know what? So before I came here, so this morning, so it's like what 10:30 right now. Yeah. This morning at 7 a.m. I went to a BNI meeting. You know, one of my clients, actually Orlando, right? The Navarez moving company. He's one of my clients. He's a very close friend of mine, and he invited me there. And you know, like BNI, I've never joined one of the BNI groups. Like I know that they can be very powerful, but like for me, I'm not gonna knock them at all. Like I love that what they're doing. They're obviously growing people's businesses, and that's great. In terms of environment though, like I just feel like it's not so much for me. Like I'm happy to contribute to them in the form of referrals and things like that. But one of the things that made me really, really sad today was like I'm watching like, especially like people in marketing. Mm-hmm. I'm watching them talk about their businesses and they don't know exactly who they're targeting. Mm-hmm. They don't know exactly what their product is. And it breaks my heart, dude, because like, you know, when you talk to a marketing person and they're like, oh yeah, I do SEO and I do Facebook ads and I do websites and I do, you know, print and I do this and I do that and I do and I, it's like, dude, you got to pick something or else you're never going to be successful.
Right.
Like you're going to limit your success if you never, you know, boil something down, especially like for a company, right? Because if you look at what you're doing is a little bit different, right? Because within your signage company, if I ask you about your niche within your signage company, you guys specialize in?
Well, signs is signs, but we work with mostly construction companies and property managers.
Perfect. We work with construction companies and property management. And when you talk to these marketing people, it's like, who do you guys help? We help everybody. Yeah. See, it's like, all right, let's say you help everybody, fine. You need to have like something very defined in terms of product. We help everybody with signs. You can't say we help everybody with print, with this, with that, with that. Like you have to like pick one or the other, right? Yeah. So it's like, and if you're going to, you know, and let's say that we only help dentists with all of their different types of marketing. Mm-hmm. See, so then, you know, you could offer a variety of services to one niche, and then you'll find hyper success that way.
I agree.
Now, where you're gonna find ultra super hyper success, like my friend Sam with Facebook ads company, he runs Facebook ads only for bigger car dealers. Niche product, niche industry, right? Yep. So it kind of breaks my heart, man. Like I'm over there at the BNI group, I'm listening to them talk, and then, you know, they just don't know who their customer is and they don't really know what they do.
Well, I'm not going to shit on BNI, but I don't like BNI. I've joined a BNI group before. I just don't feel like I should be forced to send referrals to people. I feel like if I like you and I enjoy your company and I think you're a good person, I think it add value to my customers, add value to the people I refer, and I should refer you. Yeah. I don't want to be limited to, or not limited, but saying like I have to send at least 3 referrals a year to you or 4 referrals a year to you.
Totally.
Or whatever it is. I'm like, I just think it's dumb because it's not genuine. You know, I'm just sending stuff to send it because I'm in this group and I have to.
Totally.
I also don't like waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be at a spot.
Neither do I. Which, you know, this is like a perfect segue into, you know, what I actually, there's a couple things that I want to hit with you. And one of them is HVN, but I'll never forget, man, I was in Merced one time and I walk into this bar. I'm not going to say the name of the bar. I don't like shitting on people, but let's just say I walk into this bar and I hear like, you know, Sweet Home Alabama songs type playing. I see trucker hats. I see cowboy hats. I look left and right. It's like all white people. And it's like, immediately I'm like, yeah, this is not my place. Like,
yeah, pool tables in there?
They didn't. But,
okay, that's not the bar I went to.
but the thing is though, right? Like you when you walk into a place, you know your vibe, right? Like, you know, you can feel like immediately whether or not this place is for you or if it's for someone else. And if it's not for you, that's totally cool. But that was just like one of those moments where it was like so freaking clear to me. This is not for me, right? And the first time that I walked into an HVN event, your guys' very first event that I walked into, I was like, damn, there's a lot of black and brown here. Mm-hmm. I like that. It's very young, very like, bro, like there was cameras everywhere. There, you know, like I was like, yeah, this is my tribe. I just felt it from the first meeting, right? Or from the first event. So let's talk a little bit about that, man. Like, because you guys are really transforming the game.
Yeah. So like, I was the former president for Silicon Valley Young Professionals from 2019 to earlier this year. 2022. They asked me to join because they knew I had a network and I had really great ideas that could, you know, really bring young professionals and people into the industry of networking. Mm-hmm. I'll call networking its own industry. And so I was kind of like, you know what? Sure, I'll take it on. I didn't want the position. Like they offered to me and I said, dude, I was like, fuck that, dude. Like I'm busy. Like I don't want to do this for free. And then my mentor called me, goes, hey bro, like you're the perfect person to do that. And I said, all right, dude, like, cause you told me I'll do it. And so, and when I talked about it and we came up with a whole game plan about how I can, you know, navigate through this position. Yeah. Because because like it's a board position. It's a nonprofit board position. You're the chair of their young professional group.
Yeah.
And so we went through. I did it for 2 years. Pandemic happened. Management changed. We had a different president that wanted to move in a different direction.
Totally.
And I pretty much said, you know what? I think this is time for me to leave and do my own thing. And so what happened was I brought Blake in on my board for YP, Young Professionals.
Yeah.
And him and I had always talked about doing our own events and doing our own networking group. And I was like, you know what, dude? Like, I think this is the time. I said, let's just hunker down and get serious about it and throw our first event and see how it goes.
Which is scary at that time, right? Like, bro, everything is like barely opening up. You don't even know if anyone's going to show up.
I don't know if anyone's going to show up. But I'm like, dude, like, I know if I invite people, if I post about it, people will come. And our biggest thing was price tag. So like young professional events, we were charging $10, $20 the most. And then HVN, fireside chats, we charge $50 to start.
Yeah.
And then, but our cocktail hour is only $20. So we're like, is this fireside chat thing gonna hit off? Like, how are we gonna do this? So we said, dude, fuck it. We're gonna shoot some dope ass content, get some of our friends that are killing it in their industry and have them all sit down in front of a camera and be like, hey, dude, like, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna talk about. We got some really awesome people in their space. Let's get them out here. And our first event, we killed it.
Absolutely. The room was packed, guys. Like, we might have some footage on our socials. Actually, if you go to Mike Lee's Instagram, you have footage on there from the first one. There. He'll give his handle at the end of this. I mean, it's at it's Mike Lee.
At it's Mike Lee.
Yeah, it's simple, but dude, like I can tell you, like I remember when I walked into the event. First off, I was like, yo, dope venue.
Yeah.
The white background was so sick. Especially after the event, everyone taking photos. Like, dude, that was like a great freaking place on the venue. And there was basically standing room only by the end, which was cool too, because you guys had like the back. Like, I feel like it was just very well thought out how you guys like planned everything. What was your thought process behind like picking the venue, and walk us through launching the very first event?
Sure, yeah. So I've been doing events. I've been a part of events. I've been attending network events since I was 18, sneaking into 21 plus places. You know? So I was like, I know what it takes to have a good event. I know what a shitty event looks like. And I was like, how do we want this to come out, right? Where we're at today, this is like the world of content. Like, we have to be in a place where the content's going to be dope. We're going to have really dope people, and we have to have a really dope venue. And also from San Jose. So like, I know a lot of the bar owners, you know, I'm a go-outaholic. Like I used to be out every single weekend. Like, you could find me anywhere every weekend. Like, cause like, I have to be outside. I feel like I get FOMO if I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
And so I know all the venue owners. I've been networking with all these people from the chamber groups, like San Jose Chamber, Santa Clara Chamber, Fremont Chamber, all these places. So when people come in and talk about, hey, I have this venue, I say, okay, cool, let me go take a look and see it. And then people go, okay, like, Mike's got a good reputation, he'll bring good people. And I say, hey, bro, I just want you to rock with me. It's my first event. Don't charge me an arm and a leg. Like, you know, I don't mind paying for it. I don't mind investing in it. I'm just like, dude, like, I just can't pay $3,000. Like, totally. You know, because like, if our first event, I don't even know if we're gonna make $500. Totally. I don't mind taking a loss, but I have to minimize my losses.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. So looked at a lot of spots. I called the guys over at Creative Spaces, Chris, Denise, and I was like, hey man, I told you I wanted to work with you at some point. Here's the time. He said, all right, bro, come down, look at the space. Looked at it. I was like, dude, this is fucking sick. He's like, dude, we can set up a stage. We can do it like interview style. I was like, dude, let's run it up. I think this will be dope. And I looked at it. I had the idea. We had it planned out. We had the chairs, and I said, let's rock with it. And then, you know, we went out and went crazy.
That first event, there were definitely some things that could have improved, right? Like,
100%.
Like, you guys didn't have someone at the door checking tickets and stuff. And I'm like, I wonder if anybody like snuck.
Dude, this is what I said. I said, dude, if people want to sneak into this a bit, sneak into this venue, we're lit.
Yeah, and you know, that goes to show, like, bro, like, I think so many people get held back from doing big things because they're always trying to be like too perfect, right? They're always trying to make sure that everything is just right before they do anything, and it's like, that's not how success actually happens, right? Success happens when you do things imperfectly and improve over time, right? And that's like kind of like with our content that we've been posting, right? Dude, our first like freaking month of content sucked. It sucked so bad, right? And then now it's like we're starting to get to the point where people are seeing the content that we're putting out and they're like, yo, how can I get that too? Right? But and so I love the mindset behind that, because I know that I was talking to Blake about this on the other podcast with HBN, but if you were to kind of like say, because there's 3 founders of HBN, is you, Blake, Steph, right? What are your guys' roles within HBN?
Yeah, so Blake helps out with a lot of, I like to say fundraising, so like getting sponsors and helping. We all help out with planning the events and getting the venues and planning out the the events and how we're going to do stuff. We all help out with that. Stephanie does all the creative. So the design, the marketing, hiring the video people, the photographer, she handles all that. And then I do the moderating and then the venues. So like I do a lot of the venue negotiations. So I know the people already. So it's like a random person can't walk in and be like, hey bro, I want to do this at this venue for, you know, this 150 people.
At this price.
And they say, all right bro, $3,000. Like, you know, and I say, hey dog, what's up? Like, what can you do for me? All right, Mike, I got you. Like, I'll do it for free. You know, like it's a whole different, you know, conversation. We used to kind of step on each other's toes in the beginning because, you know, like that's how the dynamic is when you're an entrepreneur, right? You want to have your own say, you want to do your own thing, and you don't want to give up too much. And then so when we finally started to get comfortable, it's like, all right, Steph, this is what you're gonna do. Cool, great, I like it. And we give feedback. Hey, here's what it is. Here's what I think because of this. Or Mike, I feel like you're moving too fast. You're not communicating with us. Because I have that issue. Like when we have a deadline and we want to do something, I just go forth and I'm like, I'm gonna get it done. You know, that's my thing. So I'm just gonna go out, work, get it done. And I forget to communicate. And then, you know, Blake and I have sat down, hey Mike, like, I know your work, I know you're getting this done, but you need to let us know. Just so that we can have our own opinion. Or if we want to come to the meeting, let me know if he has to be at the meeting, you know, things like that. You know? That's
an entrepreneur 1,000%. I was just in San Diego with Brendan. His whole team yells at him like, dude, you're going way too fast. My team be yelling at me like, dude, you're going way too fast, but that's just how we are. Like I don't think people understand, like when we get a vision in our mind, like you guys see A, B, C, D, we see A, Z, like we already know how to get there.
That's it.
And then nobody gonna get there faster than us. I love that.
That's what it's all about. I mean, like, but at the same time, it's like when you're in that team environment, you have to realize what you're doing. And like my biggest thing about having a team, it's like we work with people that are better than you at what you're not good at, right? So I'm really bad at certain things, and I have partners that are really good at those things that I'm bad at.
Give us 3 examples of things that you suck at, because so everybody knows that Mike's not superhuman.
I'm not superhuman. When it comes to like, so I went to school for engineering, right? That's my background.
Really?
Yeah, computer engineering. I'm a super
dude, that's crazy.
I had a full ride scholarship to San Jose State. No one knows that. I don't tell anyone that. You know.
Swear to God, dude, I would have never guessed that. Because you have so much charisma, dude.
I know, dude. I was voted most social engineer. Dude, so like when it comes to finance, like I know my numbers, but I just hate dashboards and building out dashboards. Like, oh, this is this is that. I go, all right, we started off the night, we spent $5,000. All right, cool. We made 10. That's $5,000 profit. Great. That's all I care about. When it comes into all the matrices, like my business partner, he's like lunatic. His dashboards, all right, Mike, check out the dashboard. I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, bro. All right, dude. Like I said, dude, just thank you. I appreciate it. Like that's all I say. I say, I have a project manager who manages like a lot of our internal company stuff because sometimes I'm always on go mode and I forget to follow up with people. Like for like a work thing, right? I'll be like, okay, she'll be like, Mike, I'll follow with this person for you, you know? Or I have to tell people, hey, text me twice. Because like when I'm on go mode, I'll get into something, be texting you, okay, cool. And then someone else will text me. I'll respond, but I won't hit send because something else will come up. You know, like I probably did that on my phone before we started the interview. Okay, Anthony's here, all right, cool, great. Did I hit send? I don't know. Put my phone down. You know? Yeah, I mean, dude, like that's pretty much, you know, and then she basically like from a company side, she makes sure that my clients are happy, makes sure that I don't do any crazy shit. She yells at me. She'll be like, Mike, you missed your meeting. Mike, you overslept. She'll call me. She's like, Mike, I know you're asleep. And she's like, yeah, you're right.
So if you were to put those things simply, right? Like, because I hear you, right? So yeah, you got ADHD, right? Like crazy.
Dude, I don't know if it's ADHD.
This guy's got ADHD.
I don't know if it's
play.
ADHD.
This guy got.
Like, do I walk around my house sometimes on the phone? Maybe.
Dude, you got ADHD, bro. No doubt. I have no doubt about it. You'd be hopping on project to project.
I'm like, hey, dude, we're doing this? All right, cool. Dude. I've been better now. I've been like sitting down. I dedicate time to it. I get it done, and then Hey,
even if you don't have ADHD, you got ADHD qualities, right? And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's
it's part of life.
People who have ADHD are superhuman. So, all right, but put it like very simple for us, like the three traits, right? I suck at this, and this is how I compensate.
I don't want to say I suck at it.
I'll tell you guys what I suck at. I am incredibly unorganized. I suck at following up, and I suck at finishing projects. And the way that I make up for that is I have a team that basically helps me organize, helps me follow up, and helps me finish stuff.
He's so good. I told you, this guy's a genius.
I'm not a genius.
People don't believe me.
No, you know the one thing. All right, here's
look at this camera. Anthony's a genius. This guy,
dude. Here's the one thing that like I know that I'm good at though for sure. See, when I'm around all these entrepreneurs, especially like bro, I hang around so many people that have like college degrees and expanded vocabularies, and when they speak and they talk about their ideas, like I remember I sat and listened to a guy for like 40 minutes. And he's like talking about how like, you know, I'm not going to go into his ideas or whatever because he's probably listening to this, but he had this idea on like a new way to do real estate, and, you know, and obviously real estate, everyone's does the same thing. They're just trying to make it look a little different. And, you know, he's like talking about this idea for 45 minutes. And I'm like, so basically you want to build an e-course and a podcast? He's like, yes. And I'm like, dude, fuck.
Yeah,
like
I do that.
See, you have to. I think if you want to be an effective entrepreneur, you have to learn how to take your big ideas and make them simple. Or if you are somebody who knows how to make big ideas, if you're somebody who knows how to take like a big idea and translate it into simple terms, you're gonna win in business. Like, because I think so many entrepreneurs have trouble, like, you know, like, hey, like Elon Musk, I'm gonna go to Mars. Well, it's like, okay, great, Elon Musk, you want to go to the Mars, you want to go to Mars, but here's the steps on how to do it, right? If you can learn how to take somebody's ideas and make them come to life, like I think you'll be extremely successful. Well,
so I mean, like, dude, in every business, there's the operations person, and then there's a creative person, the business person, right? Like the creative person just wants to shoot for the stars and say, hey, here's what I'm gonna do, here's how I'm gonna make it happen. And the business guy says, all right, you do that, let's figure out how we're gonna actually make it happen.
Right.
You know, and I feel like that's like two peas in a pod type of
I think if you're lucky, you have those two people, right? Because there's a lot of people who are like the creative person who never find the business person, and then the business person who doesn't have the creative ideas, right?
I mean, like, dude, like I feel like you can find that person when you get to a certain level, and it could be like a level in your business or a level financially. You can always hire someone to be that business person for you.
That is true.
Like you can and you have to find the right creative person, right? Yeah. I feel like it's two different things. Like someone who knows business, like that's someone, like either you partner up in the beginning and you found them, or, you know, you meet someone at a bar, like whatever it is. But I feel like that business person can be hired, but that creative person has to be found.
Yeah.
You know?
So I want to completely switch directions.
Hit it. I'm scared. I'm scared.
So Mike, I mean, I grew up on the east side.
Oh Lord Jesus.
I grew up on the east side. I know you didn't grow up on the east side.
Nah.
You grew up a little different.
A little different.
But Mike, you got a white voice.
I know. Bro, you should hear me
I got a white voice now too.
Bro, you should hear me on the phone.
Dude, you're probably a fucking monster on the phone,
dude.
But bro, let's talk about this a while. Okay, because here's the thing. Like, if you talk to my brother's a barber, like you can still hear the east side in his voice, right? And when I was young, see, the way that I've kind of thought about it is like we grow up and developing our accents to intimidate, because that's the environment that we're in. We have to intimidate. We like get the, you know, don't fuck with me or I'm gonna fuck you up. Like that's, and you have to portray that in your voice, the way that you walk, the way that you dress, because that's the environment that you're in. And then, you know, as we grow up, I started figuring out like, shit, people aren't gonna do business with me if I'm like, hey, take my business card, fuck with me, man.
Hey. Dude, it's so funny how many people have come up to me and said that, and I'm like, what? I go, hold on, what? Like I have to switch my mindset. I'm like, okay, cool.
Right. So like, and you know, all right, I'm gonna end with this because I want to hear your perspective. But you know, then they came out with that movie. What was that fucking movie that they shot in Oakland about the cold callers? Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you.
Such a great freaking movie.
I love that movie.
And it's funny, but it's so true.
It's so true.
So talk about it.
So it's so funny you say that. My mom didn't want me growing up out there, so we basically moved to San Jose. And so my whole family, like if you hear like my cousins and everything, it's like night and day. My grandmother used to call me the white grandchild. Yeah. Cause like my mom was like, I went to private school, like, and all this stuff. Like I was surrounded by white people all day. Mm-hmm. Like when I started, I went to Valley Christian. So when I started, it was 95 or 6% white.
Yeah.
Like
you're the token black dude.
Dude, the only people that were there were like me and like, so all the black kids that came to Valley Christian at the time I did, all came from another school. Like we all went from a Montessori school to Valley Christian. There was like 8 of us, and we all graduated together from Valley Christian. Yeah. So it was just like, you know, we all switched schools together.
Yeah.
So we're like the only black kids. Like I think Valley Christian was like, where is this influx of black people coming from? Like, you know,
it's like 8 of them.
There's 8 of them, and they're all applying at the same time. Like me, my sister, my cousin, his sister. Like, you know, it's like hell of shit. Yeah. You're like, what the hell is going on here? That's kind of where it all originated from, right? And so when I realized it in a business that's predominantly like in a professional setting, I'm not saying that like you speaking a certain kind of way isn't professional, because I feel like we're starting to remove that stigma. Yeah. Because there's a lot of well, at least here in the Bay. Yeah. Right. I don't know what it's like in the East Coast or the Midwest, but at least here in the Bay, like that stigma is starting to, you know, get pushed out. Yeah. Because what we're noticing is a lot of people that are where baby boomers are dying off, right? And that's where a lot of those traits were, you know, brought from. Like even like having tattoos in the workplace, you know, like that's being like, people are like, all right, cool, you got tats, it's all good. Like, dude, there's people at Facebook that make $300,000 a year with tats all on their arms, you know? Like, I was in office the other day with this guy, dude, tatted. Like, I know a guy, CEO of a big construction company, tats. Like, I didn't even know he had tats. I was like, yo, this guy's lit, right? He covers them up because of his position, but like, you'll see him out sometimes, like, oh, damn, dog, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, dude, like, it is, I feel like that stigma is starting to kind of die down.
Which is good, right?
Which is good.
Because like, I've, you know, you said something which is interesting, baby boomers, right? Because like, when we started coming into this, whose money were we trying to get?
Theirs.
We're trying to get baby boomers' money, right? And especially like, when I first started like seeing any kind of success, I was serving like the commercial real estate industry, and that is like,
oh, dude, like commercial real estate it's really all old
like white dudes
money. Like it's all old white money. So for my sign business, I work with a lot of commercial brokers, and so I went to this big broker event earlier 2022. Dude, there was only another black guy walked in, but there was only me, another guy by the name of Avery, and then his homie that was there. It was 3 people. It was literally 3 people out of a room of like 200. Yeah. 3 black people and 1 Mexican dude. Yeah. That was it. Room of 200 people. And like, that's what the industry is. Like people forget, like this is what the industry is. Right. And people don't look at that. Like I look at it as opportunity. Totally. Right. Some people look at it as like, you know, fear or like, you know, I can't get into this industry because it's predominantly, you know, white. Like, dude, I went to a predominantly white high school. Like, I lived through it. Like, I've gone through so much shit. Like,
so let me ask you a question, bro. Like, so you going to a mainly white high school, like, did you ever go through like any situations where you just knew like, or did you ever feel like you didn't belong, I should say?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I moved in. So I'll give you a great example. So my sister and I both went to Valley Christian for a period of time, right? I kind of got in where I got in. You know what I'm saying? Like I found my team. I found my people. And I just kind of fucked with them like the entire time, right? Yeah, and that was your squad. And that was my squad. I still talk to these guys to this day. They might even come over my house tonight. Like, nice. Like we've been friends since 2009. Like even some guys 2006. Like these are my road dogs, right? And I've always known everybody, but like, like if you see people from high school, they'll be like, oh shit, Mike Lee. Like, damn, you put on 100 pounds. Like, literally, like, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, Mike, I was always the guy who's like, dude, Mike's going to do something with his life. People always said that. I was like, I don't know what it is, but, you know, I'll figure it out eventually. And so I just kind of kept moving and grooving, you know?
Yeah, man, I think, so for me personally, like...
Oh, and then a little quick, and so my sister, so I kind of found my tribe. But my sister, the other side is, she hated it. Like, there was 2 things that she didn't like. She felt like she didn't see people that like looked like her, right? She said that growing up, like, I don't see one that really looks like me. And then she also, you know, didn't want to live in my shadow, right? Because, like, I was the older brother. I was doing all this shit when I was in high school. And
you were the cool guy?
I wasn't the cool guy. I was well known. I was a super nerd. Like, so the reason why I had my full ride to San Jose State was because we were the first high school in the world to put a fully automated experiment on the International Space Station. So, like, I spoke at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Like, I have recommendation letters from Tom Hanks, Barack Obama, Gavin Newsom, George Bush Sr. Like, I have, dude, literally, like, dude, my track record of recommendation letters is insane. I just don't talk about it, you know, because it
well, now y'all know.
Yeah, now you guys know. Like, I literally, it was to the point where, like, when I applied for a scholarship at San Jose State, and they take 1 boy, 1 girl per major, and there's, like, 15,000 applicants, right? Or more. Like, it's a ridiculous, you know, thing. I got in my interview, and I had the lowest GPA out of everyone in the program. I graduated high school with like a 3.5, right? Everyone there's 4.0 and above. Like I'm the guy they put up on stage to talk, so I knew how to talk well. Like that was it. That was me. That was the guy. And I'm doing my interview with San Jose State, and the lady goes, "Do you really have a recommendation letter from Tom Hanks?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Can I see it?" And then I brought it with me. Like I had hella shit in my bag. And lady's like, "Dude, I thought you were lying." That's what she said. She said, "I thought you were lying in your application." And I was like, "No." She goes, "Dude, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I read your interview. I just want to sit down and talk to you." Like, and then she goes, "Dude, I love your personality." She's like, "We're looking for people that aren't just book smart, but have, are career driven and want to do stuff and things like that." And then I ended up being the one guy that got the scholarship for my major. Yeah, dude, like I tell people I'm not a book smart guy. Like I'm really not. Like there's times I've done things I shouldn't have done in college. I won't admit it on camera, but like dude, like there's some people that like deserve my degree more than I do. And I'm okay with that, I
mean, it's okay to feel that way, but realistically you deserve everything you got, bro.
I mean, dude, like
you're I mean, the fact that like someone like is looking at your fucking, your application and like this dude's interesting, like dude, there's points for being interesting, bro. Yeah. There's points for like, bro, like you are a very intriguing character, bro. Whenever like we're at an event, everybody's trying to pull you. Like,
oh yeah, everyone's like, oh, like the biggest thing's like, Mike, so what do you do? I was like, I host these events to make sure you have a good time. That's what I'm here to do, and make sure you meet cool people. Right? Dude,
so I have a question, man. Why the fuck did you stay in San Jose? Like, dude, you could have gone to so many different places.
Yeah, dude. Like, so I interviewed for MIT, Georgia Tech, Milwaukee School of Engineering, like hella engineering schools. Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, San Diego. Is it San Diego State? Whichever one is, or San Diego University, whatever it was. San Jose State offered me money.
Oh.
At a full ride.
Oh, okay.
All my tuition was paid for 5 years.
God, and you got to stay home.
Then I got to stay home.
And that probably benefited you a lot too, because like your network is
here. My network was here, but I didn't realize that at the time. Like the only reason why San Jose State wasn't even on my radar. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going out of state. Like I'm done. I'm gone. Like, And I told my mom, I said, hey, like I applied to all these schools. I didn't apply to Stanford because the application was too long. I said, fuck this. I was like, dude, it's not worth it to me. And then so I told my mom, I was like, dude, like I'm trying to go out of state. And then so I'm sitting out with my counselor because I felt like Christian have a counselor. I'll never forget it. Mr. Smith, he goes, Mike Lee. I was like, what's up, man? I'm in his office. I was like, what's up, man? And he said, dude, have you thought about going to San Jose State? I said, I literally go, why the fuck would I want to go to San Jose State? It's right there. And he says, dude, he said, the engineering program is the #1 hire for tech company. He's like, I feel like you would do really well. And I was like, man, but San Jose State, he said, dude, trust me, just do it. And I said, all right, dude. So I did my application, and then I went through, ended up getting a full ride, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay home.
Dude, that's so crazy. Yeah, because I remember the first opportunity I had to get out of here, like, with in the illegal world, I was on a plane, and I was fucking out. It's like, I'm gone. But dude, it ended up working out in your favor.
It worked out in my favor. I mean, like, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Like, there's a few things in my life that I feel like I had to go through, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Going through it, I wasn't very happy, but I'm glad I went through what I did because it got me to who I am, where I'm at today. Yeah. If I would have left, I would have never built my network here. HVN probably wouldn't have been a thing. Like, my business wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah, you would be so spread out, right? Like, because like the thing is, like, I'll call it the Mike effect, dude. Like, wherever you go, you're gonna build network. You're gonna bring value wherever you go. And if you had done this in New York instead, like, you would be bringing value to people over there. But now you're able to, dude. Somebody can meet you, and you can literally plug them into your network, and they can blow up overnight now.
Yeah, it's true. Like, dude, like there's people that I've said, hey, dude, like if you're serious about this, let me know. Like I'm at the point now where I'm not just gonna refer just anyone. Like there's a process you have to go through now. Like not like an application process, but it's like I want to know who you are. I want to know what kind of person you are. I want to know a bunch of stuff because I've brought people into my friends and family that have fucked up royally. Mm-hmm. And then that looks bad on me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different if I did something and I fucked up. All right, cool, great. Like, it's my fault. Hey, my bad. I apologize. I was an idiot. But when it's someone else, it like hurts me even more because I can't control the situation.
Totally.
Because this person fucked up with that person. Now that person's like, Mike, you referred this person to me. I'm like, dude, like there really isn't like a lot for me to like help out, with my friend or whatever,
So many people network. Like I was just at BNI this morning, and I feel like there was people there who are just networking for the sake of networking, right? Yep. Like they're kind of spinning their wheels. they're spinning their wheels, right? They just show up everywhere and they never really like focus on actually like building their business, right? So can you give us some advice on like, you know, if somebody wants to network effectively?
Okay, so network with intent. Like, so what is your intent that you're going to get out of networking? Like, what are you going to do? Like, who are you trying to meet? What kind of people are you trying to meet? But there's really two forms of networking, right? There's a shotgun effect, which I did for a very long time. But if you do the shotgun effect style, you have to be active. Like, you have to be active. You have to have a good memory. You don't have to remember everyone's names. We had to remember what that person does. Like, you know, that shotgun effect stuff is cool because you meet a lot of people at different times, but what's your goal out of networking, right? So when I meet people, okay, cool, this person's dope. I can add this person in my head as a resource. If someone asks me about, hey, Anthony goes, hey, Mike, I'm looking for someone that can, you know, be a private chef in my house. Cool, great. Hey, I met this guy who could be a private chef at this event. I don't know him, but you know, y'all could set up and talk and see if it makes sense, right? That's kind of like how I do that shotgun effect. If I'm networking for work, and I do both, right? If it's like strictly for work, I'm at this event, I know who's going, I know exactly who I need to talk to, I kind of in my head know who to say, I do my research on LinkedIn to see who we're connected with, I connect with them beforehand, so they go, oh, who's Mike? Oh, hey, I'm Mike, hey, nice to meet you. Like, it's very strategic because I know that if I sign this person as a customer, the dollar value it is to me, right? Sometimes this happens, other times it's very highly targeted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know this person from here. Oh yeah, you work here, right? I know this, that person. Oh really? Oh yeah. Oh, I used to do this job that I think you were on. Oh, really? I was on that job too? Okay, cool, great. You create that instant, you know, connection. So for the highly targeted stuff is different, right? From a sales standpoint. We have to know what your goal is going in, right? Is your goal to meet people? And I want to differentiate networking and dating as well. Because a lot of guys go to these networking events, they're like, hey, I'm trying to find that, you know, one thing. And it's like, you know, like, all right, cool. I'm like, bro, this is not a dating show. Like, if it happens, you meet someone cool. All right, cool, great. Yeah. Whatever. But don't go in there like that. Yeah. No, it's definitely like a turn off when it's like, dude, this is not speed dating. But also at the same time, I can't blame some of these guys for doing that, especially at an HVN event, because you guys attract a lot of successful women. I'm like, yeah, are there some things that come to our events? Yes, of course. But at the same time, like, just be cool. Like, just don't. You can buy her a drink, but don't get all flirty with her.
And that's the thing, though, right? Isn't that like, if you like really like, I feel like, you know, in my mind, if you want to attract successful women, like, you got to attract successful women, not like, you know, show up where they're trying to get business and like, hey, anyways. I mean, I feel you though. I feel you.
I mean, like, dude, like it is like it is a thing where you're like, I want to create that environment for people where everyone's comfortable. You know, like if I see someone getting too like, hey, bro, if I see you talking to just this girl and then that girl and that girl, I'm gonna walk up to you. Hey, bro, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Player pimp, but you know, you gotta chill out.
Right.
You gotta chill out, or I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, because like you can't make my people feel uncomfortable. Like, people pay to be here, people pay to have a good time, and if she's feeling you, she gives you her number, cool, great, do it, keep it pushing. And you know, you came here for a reason. Like,
but you know what though? Here's the thing though. I feel like with women, right? I think a lot of these women who go out to these events are very smart, because I don't think that 100%. I don't think that them getting hit on is exclusive to HVN or any event. I think that the women who succeed are the ones who figure out how to navigate through that, right? And like, they know that they're pretty, they know that men want them, and they figure out how to convert that into business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like, I know some girls that are very good at that, right? Very, very, very good. But at the same time, like, dude, I kind of came out to network and meet people, and people ask me to meet afterwards, and it's like, don't say I want to work with you and try and use it for you to take me out to coffee and, you know, do stuff.
Yeah, but you know what, actually, so I took maybe 4 girls from HVN out for coffee. I took like probably 10 guys, right, and 4 girls, right? Like, I'm not only targeting girls, but I met with for coffee with 4 different girls, and like, one of the things that they tell me is like, yeah, I usually don't accept coffee because you know, I guys want to hit on me, and like, my intentions are very clear when I'm going out to meet with people. I'm extremely curious about them. I think I probably give more referrals than anybody else I know.
Oh, I agree.
Right? And you know, so like, my intentions are super, super clear, but they actually tell me too, like, dude, I'm not comfortable with it. And you know, and I get it. So kudos to you, you know, for being like that guardian at the events, right?
And there's a lot of times I get a text Like, hey, Mike, this guy wants to take out a coffee. Is it real or is it like, you know? And then I have to kind of go to bat. Yeah, it seems like he just wants to, you know, talk to you about work. Versus like, he's trying to, you know, get to know you a little more, right?
Right, and it comes back to what he was talking about earlier, like networking with intent, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like if someone's asking you, and ladies, if someone's asking, which probably no ladies are listening to this, like mainly probably dudes on this podcast, but if
not when I get on.
True. But hey,
increase the diversity on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I know we're talking a lot about white people. We have nothing against white people. We love. Dude,
my last name is Lee. It's a Southern white last name, bro. Like.
Oh, Southern White.
Yeah, Southern White.
Oh, that's right, huh? The Lees. Oh, yeah. Okay. I never thought about that.
Robert E. Lee Plantation.
Dude, that's crazy.
Actually, I got paperwork. Like, it's crazy. Like, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
It's a whole nother podcast. We can talk about that. It's a whole different.
But yeah, though, like coming back to saying though, with nothing against whites, Asian, dude, I love everybody. I think Mike, you're the same way.
Yeah.
But
best friends, Mike.
All right. So coming back to the shotgun. All right. So the best advice you would give someone is to follow that shotgun method, right?
I mean, it depends.
There was a shotgun method, or the other one was again.
It's a very that like precise sniper method.
Okay, perfect. Shotgun sniper.
Because I mean, like it's like what are you trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm paying, so like, I've paid $400 to go to an event.
Yeah.
But that $400, I'm on. Like, I'll bring a friend or I'll find someone that's coming, and I'm on. I said,
I'd rather go to a $400 event,
dude. But when I go, I'm there with intent, because like my goal, I'm making my $400 back. You best believe make my money back. You know, like I'm there. Boom. I know who's going. Blah 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 blah. I talk to these people, I go to these tables, do this, do that, mix, mingle, okay, cool, great, boom, out.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm like, dude, some events like that are that price, I don't mind paying. I just want access. You know what I'm saying?
You remember I sent you a text and I said, dude, you should have everybody, I forget what the number was, like $1,000 or something. Mm-hmm. You should have the event exactly how it is, HVN exactly how it is, except for the only thing is that these people paid $1,000 to be here. Mm-hmm. Like, because then that eliminates people who are not willing to put up money,
100%.
And it brings a certain level of people, right? We should test that out.
I mean, like, so we're working on some stuff in the works. So I'll kind of tell you. So I have this big idea. Whenever this podcast airs, like whatever, who cares?
Like next week.
Perfect. You guys will hear about it early. So I have this really big idea. I'm talking to some guys that are big liquor reps at, various, companies. And I want to do private dinners. So I want to do small private dinners, 10, 15 people max. And, let's say you pay $300, full course meal, everything's included. But the idea behind it is to have a network of people who can talk to you about your business and get real unsolicited advice about what you need to move forward.
Yeah.
Because people pay for one-on-one mentor sessions, or people pay for, to go to like a BNI or go to some like networking group where the people there, like you don't really know them. Mm-hmm. But if you can come and sit down at a dinner with people who are entrepreneurs in their space, have been very successful in what they do, and can give real solid advice, and also hear some back and forth between two different people on different sides of the fence, and you can form your own opinion, it's worth their weight in gold.
Absolutely.
You get to eat a good meal, you get to drink for free. Well, you obviously pay for it, but it's like all you can drink, 3-4 course meal at a nice restaurant, and you kind of go from there and create that atmosphere.
Triple the price.
Mm-hmm.
Triple the price, dude.
I mean,
that's. Yeah. I feel like the thing is, there's just the higher you go in price, the perceived value is going to be higher, right? And the more that people pay, the more serious they're going to take it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm paying $900 for one dinner, mm-hmm. I am going to be like, okay, very intentional about what am I going to get out of this?
Everything you say, what are you getting out of it?
Exactly.
100%.
But yeah, man, I would be down to join.
Yeah, I think like you're already on the list. Don't worry. And so, but there's one thing that I was on Instagram, and there was this video that came up, and this guy was talking about how did he get years of knowledge in one sitting with somebody. So he went to someone who's in their space, and he said, so what do you make per month? And she was like, I make about 20 grand a month. And he says, all right, I'll pay you $20,000 for 1 hour of your time, and I want you to give me all the golden nuggets you've ever learned throughout your career. And he said the lady came so prepared for everything and the knowledge that he got, because you're paying for 1 day. She said, I just want 8 hours of your day. 8 hours for you to tell me everything. Boom, 20 grand, that's how much you made a month. I'll give you your 1 month's pay for 8 hours. That lady, he's talking about lady came so prepared. He learned so much, and that's how he's built his career, understanding how taking all his gold nuggets to build more. You know,
I love that story, bro. I just got the chills when you said that. I got so excited that you're talking about this. I love that story, dude. I heard that once too, and bro, it's incredible, man. Like when you come to people and you know, first off, like if I come to you and I say, hey, Mike, how much do you make in a month? Like it forces that person. Like, how special do you feel if someone's like, dude, I'm going to pay you what you make in a month in a day? Yeah. Number one, you feel fucking like, holy shit, like extremely special. Number two, I can't believe that somebody's willing to do this. Number three, nobody's ever made an offer like this, so I'm going to give them more than I've ever thought. More than you ever thought, yep. Right. So
and he talks about like it took the lady like a month and a half to prepare for that one day.
Wow. That's nuts, dude. So, hey, I want to talk about 50 Cent.
Oh, that's my favorite rapper.
Dude, okay. So I want to talk, all right, so two different things. So when it comes to 50 Cent, man, like when you watch him move.
I'm so glad this came out. I think about this all the time.
Dude, I love 50 Cent's like my favorite rapper entrepreneur, period. So before we even touch on that though, I feel like people get way too caught up in followers on social media. I think I'm about to hit like 1,400 followers, but my 1,400 followers, like of all the platforms I'm on, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all that shit, Instagram is my absolute favorite. Like the network of the net worth of the people, the 1,400 people that I have, dude, in the hundreds of millions if you add everybody up, right? Yeah. And I think people think like, oh, I need to get 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 followers. No, you don't. Stop fucking thinking that way. You can monetize your little network. And for me, this content, networking, all of this stuff is just building a brand, because today I'm building Outsource Plug. Today I'm building the short form media. But what am I going to be doing in 5 years? Right? And that's what 50 Cent, he's so fucking good at this, where he's built up this huge audience, and no matter what he puts out, he's got it. Like immediately he wants to do a champagne, it's out. Banger. Energy water, it's out. Banger. Movie, out. New rapper, like whatever he pushes out is out, and it gets me so excited, and it reminds me of like the importance of building up our audience, man. What do you take from 50 Cent?
Oh, dude, 50 Cent is literally my favorite rapper mogul. You know, that's like, dude, like 50 Cent is. Have you watched his interviews?
I've watched a lot of interviews from 50 Cent, but which one are you talking about? I've watched
just if you watch any. So like I watch. So 50 Cent, I always look at not just 50 Cent, but like G Unit, right? Mm-hmm. So like I look at like Tony Yayo. Like Tony Yayo's his right hand man. Yeah. Everyone goes, Tony Yayo's the most loyal guy in the business, bro. Like he never walked down on 50. Like him and 50, he rode a 50. You know what I'm saying? And that's why there's guys that were in G Unit that fell off. You know, like you know Lloyd Banks. Like
where you at, Lloyd?
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just people that fall off. And I look at it and I go, 50 Cent was a hood guy. Right, he was in the hood. I want to say there was another word I wanted to say. But
I know what you want to say.
But yeah, so like 50 Cent was like in the hood, man. Like he was doing his thing, but he took his rap career, made a shit ton of cash, and then was like his rap career, his drug career, whatever, and then was like, I want to get out the game. Just kind of got away from all the crazy shit. Moved into that vitamin water deal, made a killing on vitamin water. Yeah. He still makes money from G Unit, still makes money from, Get Rich or Die Trying, which is like, I feel like that's top 10, like best rap albums.
Get Rich or Die Trying, the rap album, I just like rebought the movie.
Oh, really?
yeah, I just watched it like a few days ago.
Dude, Get Rich or Die Trying is like one of my favorite rap albums besides Illmatic, but from that era. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, like I look at it and I go, look, how does this guy operate? Because he takes that like hood mentality and he brings it to a corporate world. And he talks about in an interview, he goes, dude, in the business room, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna tell me no. In the drug game, you're gonna shoot me. He goes, bro, my life is not at stake. Like I can say whatever the fuck I want to you, and you're gonna yell at me back. You ain't gonna shoot me. Yeah. You're not gonna do it. Yeah. So it's like, that's why he talks to people hella crazy. He's like, because he's like, dude, like you say that shit in the hood, like, bro, someone will fucking pop off. You say it to like some dudes, like, he might swing at you, but like he's not gonna kill you.
Dude, I love when he was talking about how, at least in the hood, when you get robbed, at least they got the decency to show you the gun. Yep. Right? In business, when you get robbed, they'll do it on a piece of paper. Dude, like it's, and you won't even know it's there. Yeah. You won't even know it's there. Yeah. But I mean, like, dude, like I look at 50, like, dude, he's made so many moves. Like, you have the TV network, you have
I don't know if he still owns Vitamin Water. He's done some car show stuff. He does a lot of community stuff. He has the like liquor. Yeah. He has all this stuff, and it's all based on his audience. Yeah. Right. He does a lot of stuff tailored to his audience. Anytime he puts something out, like anytime you post on Instagram, it's a lit day. Like, you know, back when that whole Floyd Mayweather Ice Challenge stuff was happening. Oh my God, that was so funny. And he's real in like every scenario. He's the most real. He's the same person that like you see in the interview that you see on Instagram, you see talking shit. Like,
bro, he's the biggest troll online.
He's so funny.
Bro, but that's how he became famous, right? He became famous trolling Ja Rule.
Yep.
Right? Like he was the fucking king of trolls.
Did you hear what he did to Ja Rule? So Ja Rule had a concert. He bought all the first and second level tickets. Bought all of them. And then no one showed up. Ja Rule's like, damn, did I pack this thing out? Bought like the whole like bottom floor. And then he gets there, there's no one there.
Dude, that's hilarious. But that's literally how this dude came up was, dude, Ja Rule was coming up. Everybody, bro, every thug needs a lady. Yep. Hey, I love Ja Rule's music, right? But 50 went and just fucking grew off of this guy's wave, right? Yeah. By just talking shit about him and dude, but it was great. I was reading his book, The 50th Law of Power that he did with Robert Greene. Oh, fucking amazing book. Which, guys, I don't really read a lot, but that's one of them that I had to read. But man, so what do you feel like are the lessons that 50 Cent, you know, what's something that you've learned from 50 Cent that you've like personally implemented yourself?
Don't be afraid to like try things. You know, sometimes it won't work out. Yeah. But if it hits, it hits. You know, and build things that are tailored to your audience. You know,
build things that are tailored to your audience.
Like, dude, like I got over 3,000 followers on Instagram, which is
not toxic.
Cool. Not toxic.
Not toxic. Yep. It's tailored towards. Bro, when you came out with not toxic, I think I bought like 3 or 4 things from you, dude. Because I'm like, look at, dude, I love. See, not.
You know, this is not even out yet. This is like new shit. I'm gonna turn around to the camera. You know what I'm saying?
I love that for
this is like not even out yet. This is like,
hey, you got one for me or what?
I can check upstairs. What else?
I like this axis, but all right. So when you came out with Not Toxic, though, I remember I saw the design. I'm like, dog. And then the second design with the heartbreak, it's like, dude, I love it because like that's like everybody's like, yeah, I'm not toxic. No, you're all toxic, motherfucker.
You're all toxic, man. Like,
you're all toxic.
You're all toxic.
Your brand has me giggling like a little kid and shit. But dude, and then you know what was crazy was like I remember I bought a sweater for my brother. And everywhere he's like, bro, like everyone's like, dude, you know Mike Lee? Like they tied the brand to Mike Lee, and then like even girls would like, you know, my brother's married and stuff, but he would like say like, you know, Hispanic girls would be like, oh, yo no soy tóxica or whatever. Yeah. Like, bro, it's just, I don't know, man. I feel like it's just a great fucking brand, but that's a great example of something that you tailored for your audience, and we all support you because I am part of Mike Lee's audience. I fuck with Mike Lee. Mike Lee put out HVN. I was like, I fuck with that. He put out Not Toxic. I fuck with that. What else are you gonna put out for us?
There's one thing I'm really working on. This is probably one of the best ideas I've had in a very long time. I'm not gonna tell you on camera, but I'm telling you, if this works out, you're gonna be like, damn.
Is it the thing that we were talking about?
No, it's a different thing. No, it's a different thing. This is a whole different thing.
Okay, all right. So let's start. Actually, I think we're at like the hour mark here, and I try to keep these things around the hour mark-ish.
We got 15 minutes, do we?
We're gonna. Here's the thing. The last part. Here's the last section that I like to dedicate this podcast to.
I feel like we just got going.
I know. Hey, you know what? Because right now too, we record on iPhones and we only have so much storage, so much battery, all that shit. We're gonna eventually upgrade this. But what I like to do with the end of the podcast is I'm always thinking about people who are not as far in their journey or are struggling in their journey. And, you know, and these are things too that we're going to bust down and put in short form content that we can put on Facebook, IG, TikTok, the whole shit, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, somebody out there struggling, man, and needs a message of encouragement. What do you say to them?
I mean, like, sometimes when you're going through the shit, right? Like, you're going through the shit and there's no way out. You're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You got to keep pushing through the trees, man. Because like when you get out of it and you see that whole forest, you're like, damn, like it really wasn't that bad. Like I'll give you an example. So when I was at Valley Christian, my parents got divorced, my house got foreclosed on. And me and my mom and my sister were legally homeless for about a year. And I went through the whole fucking shitter. I didn't tell anyone at school. Like, there was maybe like 1 or 2 people that knew. I was tutoring. I had started my first IT company. And like, I'd done all this stuff to help get money to help pay for first month's rent. Yeah. And so I was working, I was tutoring, I was paying my own tuition at Valley Christian.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So I was working to pay my own tuition. I was working, because like my parents didn't have any money, like, you know. My family was pretty well off in the beginning, and then 2008, 2009 happened, and then, you know, it's a whole shit show. And then, you know, I went through it, and I was always like, I can do it all by myself. Like, I don't need help. I don't need anyone's help. And so I asked a family friend, I was like, hey, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, I'm going through it. You know, can I borrow some money? I'll pay you back. I promise you I'll pay you back. And he said, how much do you need? I said, whatever you can give. Wrote me out a check for 10 grand.
Wow.
So wrote me a check for 10 grand, and I used all that money to pay for the rent for 3 months. So my mom wouldn't have to worry. Well, it actually was longer than that. It was like, it like covered my rent for like 6 months. And so I was like, okay. So Mom, I said, we're gonna have to get down and fucking work. You know, we're gonna have to put in work in for a little while just for us to figure it out. I went to my other family friend and said, hey man, like, I need a job. Like, he said, all right, cool, man, you start Saturday. This is Thursday. Oh, no, this is Friday, so you start tomorrow. He said, wear your jeans, t-shirt, you're working. Both those people have become very significant mentors and friends in my life, right?
And those people that we all have those people in our lives. If you don't have them, you can manifest them into your life by just being a good person, doing what you say you're gonna do, you know, just being real, right? Because I've also had people in my life when I'm like completely down. I've had people fucking save me.
Dude,
Brendan Shue being one of them. He's saved me on multiple occasions. Yeah. So that's.
I mean, like, dude, there's people like I've sent a text out around like my birthday and around like Christmas time. I text a bunch of people. Like, I sent you a text as well.
You did. You sent me my flowers.
Dude, there's people that have been in my life that I'm like, dude, like, I'm just so thankful because, like, for me, like, I'm always on go mode, but like, I've gone through so much in my life. Like, you know, we could have a whole podcast talking about that. And I put a lot of it under the rug because I want to keep running. I don't want to stop. Yeah. I know if I keep running, I'll be okay. But sometimes I'll hit that wall and I'm like, fuck, dude. And then I just get super depressed. But then there's people that are like, come my life that I'm like, that help bring me back up. Yeah. And I say, dude, like, I wouldn't be here without my friends and family. Like, my friends that have become family. Yeah. And like my family that, you know, has really just, like my mom, my sister, like, those are 2 people I do everything in my life for. Like, everything. They may not realize it, but like those are my pride and joy, and nothing else really matters to me. And my friends who've become family to me, like, have supported me, like have been there for me. Like, Joan will tell you, there's days I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody. Turn my location off. Like, I just need 2 weeks to myself. The only person that comes to my house is like obviously my sister, and then Joan. I said, I don't want anyone else in my fucking house. You know, I just want to sit down and talk to someone that I can really like just bounce ideas and no one won't judge me. Like, that's literally how it goes.
Dude, you know? But I feel like you are excellent at fostering those type of relationships, right? Because me personally, like I grew up moving a lot. Like, we moved from neighborhood to neighborhood, school to school to school. So I feel like I lost, like, especially early on, I lost the ability to have deep connection because of moving. And then eventually it turned into like, you know, when I meet people, like I just didn't know how, right? But then now it's like, I mean, dude, like you're so close with that girl, Joan. Everyone thinks she's your wife,
Everyone thinks she's my fucking wife. No, dude, me and Joan's got a boyfriend. Like, but like, it's so funny. She goes, he knows it's a package deal. It's a package deal. I go, dude, like, you know, and having, and like, that's a whole nother thing is like, I feel like relationships isn't gender biased. Like one of my best friends is a girl, right? There's nothing between us, nothing. She knows about the shit I be doing. I know about this shit sometimes what she's doing, but you know, like it's like there's like none of that, you know, overlap, you know, and there's never been. And people just don't realize that it can happen. Like there's guys that like I've known for years, like, you know, some of my best friends come to HVN events and it's like, dude, like these are people that I fucked with for a long time, you know?
What's like some strategies though? Like, cause I mean, there's people who legitimately don't know how to maintain those long-term relationships, right? Yeah. And make it like simple for us to understand.
Super simple.
How do you do that? How do you build a deep, meaningful, lasting relationship?
Be honest, dude, like be genuine. Be a genuine person and be honest. And like, don't lie. Hey bro, like I really enjoy hanging out with you. Let's go grab lunch. You know, make an effort.
Make an effort.
And then if you move away, dude, social media is the biggest tool.
Yeah.
Like Instagram, dude, I talked to homies that I've met twice when I was out in Vegas, still to this day on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like use it. Instagram's a tool. But also like let people know like, hey dude, I do get busy. Like, and and be like, hey, if you want to talk to me, hit me up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I'll hit you up too, but it's like I'm doing a lot of stuff and I respect you, I respect your time, I love you to death. But if you don't hear from me, don't be upset. Like it's nothing to do with you, don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Right? Because like there's times where if you go through my DMs right now, I probably have 150 unread messages from today, you know, or my emails or my text messages, you know?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I forget, you know, I just get caught up in the weeds and I forget, like it's not against you, just text me twice. I'm like, dude, if you sent me something, fucking hit me again. Mike, you're being dumb.
Even I ran into that too. And like, you know, I feel like because I'm also an entrepreneur and I have a shit ton of employees and, you know, clients and people trying to reach out to me, I don't think I'm at the level that you're at in terms of reach, but like, I feel like I get it. I feel like people who are not entrepreneurs though, they have a harder time understanding. Yeah. And I feel, so I've been talking to my therapist about this a lot, and one of the things that he made me realize was I do a lot of mind reading, which means like I do things like he didn't text me back, he's probably mad because of this, or he's probably thinking this, he's probably and I think a lot of people mind read, right? A lot of people will make up this story in their head that's absolutely not true, and it's like, hey, no, actually Mike he literally had meetings nonstop for 14 hours today. Yeah. And he skipped lunch, and you know, like he couldn't
see my sandwich video.
This fucking guy has time to post about a sandwich, but he can't call me back.
Literally, trust me.
Yeah. But no, I feel that, man. But dude, I'm gonna have you back on multiple episodes here in the future, because as this year progresses, this podcast, man, we're going super hard on it. But we will definitely have you back. But Mike, I appreciate you hopping on here with us.
Hey man, I appreciate the opportunity. This is great. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm an Anthony fan.
No, I'm a Mike Lee fan.
I'm an Anthony fan, bro. I'm telling you right now, like, don't let this guy fucking fool you. I'm looking right at the camera. This is gonna be a reel. Don't let this fucking guy fool you, okay? He's a goat. He's the plug.
And if the people want to get a hold of you?
Oh yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, follow me on Instagram, @It's Mike Lee. I post content daily. I'm gonna be doing more content soon. And yeah.
Yeah, and Mike's co-signed, guys. Like anything that he does, show up to his events, buy his shirts, whatever, like literally like whatever he is. If you guys know companies that need signs, hit them up.
Tap in. If not, you just want to hit me on Instagram and ask questions, I'm all about it. I'm always down to answer some questions, give some advice.
Yeah, buy him a drink at HVN. Or he'll probably buy you a drink. But
yeah.
offer to buy him a drink. But, all right,
hey,
bro.
Hey.
Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, this is great.